just liked my name. I don't think I was named after anybody. And I did have a nickname growing up. My nickname was George because I was a third girl, and my daddy was expecting a boy. But I don't think he was going to call me George if I had been a boy. But that was just a nickname that stuck with me. I was a big tomboy, and he just called me George. I was born February the 21st, 1968, in Gainesville, Georgia, at Northeast Georgia Medical Center. When I was born, we moved to Doraville, Georgia, and then we moved back when I was in first grade to Lula, Georgia. So I grew up in Lula. That's where I grew up my whole life. My earliest childhood memory is when I got in trouble when I was 4 years old. We were in Doraville. I can remember running away. I was going to run away from home instead of facing my father, which I knew I'd get a spanking for whatever I did. I don't remember what I did, but I can remember running up the road, and my father was in behind me with a belt, and I could see Treasure Island, which was like a big Walmart at the time. And I thought, if I could get to Treasure Island, I'll be safe. But needless to say, I did not make it to Treasure Island, and I never ran away from home again. Did I ever have any experience of racism in my life? I did not. I can't remember. I can remember in middle school, it wasn't really racism. It was being stereotyped, I guess, as a new girl, because I had to go to a school where my mother taught. I went to South Hall. She taught at Johnson. I was supposed to go to East Hall. So I went to a new school, and I was a new girl, and I was very shy. So people kind of picked on me for that, which I came out of my shell when I reached high school, and I was fine. Our favorite holiday, or my favorite holiday, is Christmas. I love Christmas because I just like the way it makes me feel. It's like a time of giving. I can give gifts, and I listen to Christmas music all year round. My kids can vouch for that. Do we have any special traditions in my family? We get together a lot at Christmas and Thanksgiving. At Christmas this year, we're going to have an ugly Christmas sweater contest. I hope to win. But we do games, and we just get together and laugh and enjoy each other. When I was growing up, a typical family dinner for us would be my mother would cook, and we'd all gather around the table. My father was a truck driver, so sometimes he wasn't there, but we would still gather around the table, and we'd have our manners, and we'd just talk about our day. But it was just every night, but we would gather around the table. We would either eat a can of soup or spaghetti or whatever, but we would definitely gather around. Holidays around when I was growing up, Easter, we always went to church, which we went to church every Sunday, but we went to church on Easter, but we'd always go get us a nice new outfit. Thanksgiving, we'd go to my grandparents, and then on Christmas, we would everybody would gather at our house, and we'd go on a hayride afterwards, which was fun. We'd go caroling. People don't do that anymore, but we had a good time doing that. How did I choose my children's names? I chose my children's name because they're all biblical. I have 6 kids, and every one of them is a biblical name. And the proudest moment as a parent for me is when each one of my children were born healthy. I had a healthy pregnancy, and each one of my children was born healthy, and they've never had any problems ever. And I'm very thankful and grateful for that. Things that we enjoy doing together. We love board games. We're very competitive. I don't like playing trivia games with some of my kids because they're really smart. And we also enjoy going on vacations together and enjoying the beach and the sun. Accomplishments that I was proud of myself was when I gave my life to Jesus and becoming a mother. Those are some of my proudest and most memorable things that I've ever done. And my earliest memory of you is when you were born. I can remember when you were born. I didn't have problems, but as soon as you came out, you were screaming. Like, everybody was so amazed how alert and how loud you were. And the things that we do together, we like to get our toenails or fingernails done, and we'd love to go shopping and just just spend time together. And I mean, just going down the roads singing, singing songs or trying to sing songs. Me, of course. Um, uh, things I've learned that are most valuable is to ethic, eth, excuse me. Of all the things that I've learned from my parents, that I feel the most important is my work ethics. I always felt good when I went to work. I tried to keep a job as long as I could. Going having a hard day's work and coming home and resting made you feel good. You were tired, but it made you feel accomplished, that you did accomplish something, even if it was just working, cleaning bathrooms or whatever I did. I felt like I did accomplish something. Um, Physical characteristics that run in our family, we all have. Usually, we're all tall, have high cheekbones, and we're very smart. Some of us are. No, just teasing. We're pretty smart. Special heirlooms and things that are handed down from my grandparents and parents. I have my grandpa on my father's side had an old washstand that he refurbished. I don't know the background of it, but I remember as a child watching him. He refurbished furniture, and that was one of his favorite pieces. And when he passed, and my grandma passed, that was something that was given to me, and I cherish it to this day. Um, some stories that were handed down from my mom. I can remember my grandma. I can remember spending the night with my grandmother and telling funny tales. This one sticks out for some reason. I remember her telling me about her grandmother. It was during the war, and she was taking something to somebody through the woods. And it always reminded me of Little Red Riding Hood. But she was going through the woods to grandmother's house, and as she was going through the woods, the soldiers were, everywhere. And one soldier happened to be in the woods doing his business, and she just happened to walk up on him. And there was nothing she could do but just say, "Howdy." And he just looked up and said, "Howdy." And she went on her merry way. And I just always thought that was so funny. I was like, what would I have done in that situation? Me, I probably would have hid behind the tree and went the other way. But she just kept on going her merry way.